Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Machine translation applications and services. I'm here with part number 2 of this topic. As you know, in the previous lecture related to this topic, in part number 1, we discussed machine translation in industry for business use, or in short, it is called B2B machine translation services, or products. The B part of this, which is part 2, online app machine translation for consumer use. This is today's topic. The lecture has been divided into, uh, I think 11 points: basic information, modes, Google Translate, Facebook Translate, Skype Translate, the ELI wearable voice translation translator device, and pilot wearable earbud for speech-to-speech translation, iTranslate Voice to speech-to-speech translation, Google Pixelbuds text grabber, 6 real-time OCR capture and translation, future challenges of machine translation. So let's start. The machine translation apps for consumer use are used by individual consumers, as the name suggests. They provide instant translation for text, audios, and images. Usually they are generic, non-domain specific. Some of them, of course, are developed for domain specific purposes, but usually they are generic. They are lightweight in the sense that few rules of the development have been applied there. They are cloud. Some of them are cloud-based app, means the remote server. They are connected to the remote server from where every information and service is sent to the app. Crowdsourced data is input by many people. They are of course sharing their knowledge and their experiences there, and hence the service is developed and the app is improved. There are wearable devices as well that have been included in this presentation and lecture. The modes, these are 5 modes in which the machine translation apps are available, that are text to text, text to speech, speech to text, and speech to speech, and image of the words to text, translated. Google Translate perhaps is at the top. Number 1 is, it was launched in April 2006, and it used the United Nations European Parliament data for its development and training. This primarily was based on statistical machine translation approaches, but then since 2016 moving towards neural machine translation techniques. It serves over 500 million people daily, maybe more than that, because this figure is little I think 3 years ago. First translate text to English and then to the target language. This is a very important feature of Google Translate. Every translation is done through this method. Text, speech, and image of the words, about 110 languages or maybe more than that languages that have been included into Google Translate. Facebook Translate is launched the translations apps in 2008, kept working with Bing based on NMT. Now 44 languages, launched its own artificial intelligence powered translation system in May 2016. There's an excellent video about how the Facebook developed its AI powered translation system, but that video cannot be downloaded, so I have here in this presentation provided the link, but I shall also provide the link to your WhatsApp group, and also I shall also place this link in Google Class, from where you can watch, you must watch this video. Skype Translate is real-time speech-to-speech translation app and powered by Microsoft Cloud Translator services. From December 2014, introduced a voice translation feature as well. Translating data has been obtained from various sources: translated web pages, videos with captions, previously translated and transcribed one-on-one conversations, and also data donated by some organizations. Uh, as of 2017, Skype uses the Microsoft Translate technology. Audio conversations in 18 languages and textual conversation in 60 plus languages. The speech-to-speech translation is achieved in a four-step, and instead of explaining verbally these four steps, you shall see the four-step English to Japanese machine translation GIF. So let's watch this first. Okay, Microsoft has launched several independent projects to showcase the potential of Skype Translate across the globe. So here I am providing two videos, video number 7 and then video 7 within bracket 1, and both cover different aspects of Skype Translate.
Hands-free only.
How did the call go with her on Friday?
So we actually had a conversation where she was just talking on the phone normally in Bluetooth in the car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I went deaf when I was 13 years old, so it's fortunate that I have the ability to speak. But of course, since I can't hear, it makes it very difficult to communicate with people who can't do sign language. My wife and I have been together for 24 years, and in that time, technology has improved quite a bit. I used to have people make phone calls for me, friends would interpret. My dad would do that quite often, but it's a little bit impersonal to have someone else translate what the person you're trying to talk to is saying. When I first heard about Skype Translator, I saw an email asking for participants to help test it. And I was very excited. Okay, I want to do this. I want to make sure that it's going to give me what I need, and I'll let them know what I need.
Inclusive design will inspire us to think about new ways that will benefit people with disabilities, but will benefit all users. Most of our innovations in the digital space have come about because someone has tried to address the challenges of someone that has different requirements.
Skype Translator basically came about because of the realization that we could put speech recognition together with machine translation. We saw that people wanted to be able to communicate across language barriers. Everyone knows how to call other people on Skype, but generally you're bound to the language that you typically communicate in. By adding the speech translation aspect of it, you're then able to talk in your native language, the other person is able to talk in their native language, and you're able to communicate with one another. The person that I worked very closely with, Ted Hart, he's deaf, so he had to rely on the transcripts. It wasn't just the other languages that he couldn't hear, it was English he couldn't hear either. So being able to communicate with someone that spoke English, it was actually a big deal. When he calls someone on Skype, he doesn't understand what they're saying. Unless they sign or unless he's reading their lips, it's impossible for him to engage with people on Skype.
It was not part of the originally designed scenario for their team, but he could really see how useful it would be to me, to other deaf people, and he was really, really excited about the possibility of making that happen.
He basically really lobbied for the changes, and so we took the initiative to actually add some features to accommodate the deaf and hard of hearing communities.
Vinny had hearing loss due to chemotherapy, and he's had hearing aids since he was 3 years old. As the years have gone on, they've come up with new and improved technologies to improve his learning and hearing in the classroom setting.
I became deaf when I was 1.
He was profoundly deaf and qualified for cochlear implants. You learn so much from even the wrong answers that kids volunteer. And when, for Max, it's extremely difficult in a classroom situation for him to hear other students unless they're within about 3 to 5 feet of him.
Hello.
你好。
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
你们是在家还是在学校？
You are at home or at school?
We are all at school right now.
你吃过北京烤鸭吗？
You tried Peking duck.
That sounds pretty good.
There are deaf and hard of hearing students that are in the speaking classroom. They call this mainstreaming. A number of these students have hearing aids or cochlear implants, and that often requires an interpreter of varying kinds, whether it's sign language interpreters or whether it's closed captioning. The problem is it doesn't scale.
The idea that when he is in school in the future, if he can actually be watching the professor talk without having to be facing him, I think would be really exciting.
I was able to be with all of my friends and talk to someone in China who was speaking a different language than me, and I could see what they were saying on the screen, so I could perfectly understand what they were telling me.
This project actually has had a profound impact on my life. The barriers that we break down, it breaks down the language barrier. That then gives people access to other cultures that they might not otherwise have access to. It also breaks down the hearing barriers.
What's your favorite food? Mine is pizza.
我比较喜欢面条吧。
I prefer noodles.
What kinds of anime do you like to watch?
我喜欢宫崎骏，尤其是喜欢《千与千寻》。
I love Miyazaki. June especially likes Spirited Away.
Yes!
If you think about captioning, they were created for someone that can't hear, but they are most often used in exercise rooms and sports bars because it's too noisy. And in a classroom, it actually promotes literacy. It helps students for whom English is a second language. Captioning has been shown to accelerate the rate at which kids learn how to read and write.
I can see how exciting technology is going to make his school career as it goes forward.
In life. Yeah.
In life, yeah.
Talking to people all over the world in a different language is now possible with Skype Translator in updated Skype for Windows. First, select your contact, send an instant message or start chatting straight away using the call and video call buttons. Or you can set up Skype Translator. Click the Settings button. Choose your contact's written language to see translations in the chat or from the spoken and written list to hear the translations on a call. Then check that the globe icon shows Skype Translator is on. Now you're all set to start chatting. Remember your headphones to ensure you have the most accurate translations possible. As you or your contact speaks, it will be translated in your headphones and the translations will appear on your screen.
Hi, how are you?
Remember to speak clearly and wait for the translation to appear.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Te tengo noticias. Francesca va a tener un bebé.
I've got news for you. Francesca is going to have a baby.
And that's all there is to it.
The next app is the device as well. The ELI wearable voice translator device, real-time speech-to-speech translation, a small handheld wearable voice translator built to translate simple common phrases for travelers. So we can say it is a domain-specific device. It works offline and does not require the internet. That is the important feature of this device, to instantly translate speech. It has 4 languages: English, Spanish, and Mandarin, Chinese, and Japanese. And again, does not support a two-way conversation. It's a one-way conversation. And this video number 8 that we are going to watch right now will explain more about this ELI wearable voice translator device. Let's watch.
I really like coffee. I'd like to ask you some questions. Where do your coffee beans come from? Nice. Recommend. What is great about your shop? What's your most popular drink?
人気はホットラテです。ホットラテ。はい。
The next app is Pilot Wearable Earbud for speech-to-speech translation. Is real-time speech-to-speech translation. Again, pair of wireless earbuds that are of course put in the ears, and two-way conversation. It is used not only one direction. So there are two translation from and to the source and target languages paired with the Pilot app. Let's watch video number 9 for more information about this device and app.
I'm trying out Waverly earbuds. They do live translation from one ear to another, and I'm here with the CEO and founder of the company, so I'm going to try it out with you. ¿Qué has visto aquí en Barcelona?
What you've seen here in Barcelona.
We went to a really great restaurant last night and had paella.
Fuimos a un restaurante realmente estupendo anoche y tenía paella. Almost there. Walk me through what's happening here.
You do need to pair the earbuds to the phone. Once you turn the microphone on, that you stay on, and you can put the phone in your pocket and just speak, and the earbuds will pick up what you're saying.
And what is the connection?
There's a lot of different signals being used: Wi-Fi, data, 3G, LTE, Bluetooth, of course.
Cuando eras joven, ¿cuál era tu serie de televisión favorita?
When I was young, what is your favorite TV series?
I said, when you were young. ¿Estás casado?
You are married.
So I said, are you married? So is this simultaneous translation or consecutive translation?
Yeah, so the first version is actually waiting until you're done speaking before it translates. Again, the whole idea of the earpieces, the earbuds, is to kind of create a more natural experience. I put the phone in my pocket and we're just talking to each other.
When we speak, so much of what we do really isn't that organized. So how does your technology account for those very natural human language skills or lack thereof?
Even for myself, I talk fast and I mumble sometimes. We use filler words like whatever. The translation systems are getting pretty advanced to where it starts using machine learning tactics. It can pick up what's happening and filter that stuff out.
When do you think this will be on the market?
Within the next 6 to 8 weeks, go into beta testing, start shipping this summer.
One last question. ¿Vas a dejar a todos los traductores sin trabajo?
You're gonna leave all the translators out of work.
It has a long way to go before it's perfect, but maybe one day, decades down the road.
So it got it almost right. It says a long way to go before it's perfect, but maybe in a few decades it'll be on the freeway.
Close enough.
iTranslate Voice 2 speech-to-speech translation app. It supports 42 languages and marketed as a traveler's translation. Again, this is just like Ili is as a traveler's, and we can take it as domain specific app. Video number 10 is a good explanation about this iTranslate Voice 2 speech-to-speech translation app. Now we have this Pixelbuds, and it is real-time speech-to-speech translation again, developed and marketed by Google. It was launched in 2017. And web search, more features are also available at web search and media connectivity, 40 different languages, and video number 11 demonstrates how this works.
Our first pair of premium wireless headphones. They're called Google Pixelbuds. With Pixelbuds, controlling your music is super simple because all of the controls are built into the right earbud. You simply tap to start and stop your music or swipe forwards and backwards to change the volume. Now, what's amazing is when you pair your Pixelbuds with your Pixel 2, you get instant access to the Google Assistant. We optimize the experience to be quick and easy. Just touch and hold the earbud and ask your assistant to play music, send a text, or give walking directions. They even give you access to a new real-time translation experience. It's an incredible application of Google Translate powered by machine learning that's like having a personal translator by your side. To show you how easy this experience is, I'd like to invite Isabel back on stage for a conversation in her native language, Swedish. Okay. Hey Isabel, how's it going?
Hej Isabel, hur är läget?
Helt okej, tack.
Absolutely okay, thank you.
What do you think of these cool new headphones?
Vad tycker du om de här coola nya hörlurarna?
Mitt team designade dem, så jag tycker de är ganska coola.
My team designed them, so I think they're pretty cool.
Thank you, Isabel. So with Pixelbuds, I can use real-time Google Translate to have a natural conversation in 40 languages. Google Pixelbuds come in a pocket-sized charging case that provide up to 5 hours of listening time with just one charge. And they'll be available in November for $159, and pre-orders begin today.
The last one is the Text Grabber 6 real-time OCR capture in translation. It was launched in 2013, digitizes images from any surface and isolates the text and translates it, and 100 languages for full text translation. So video number 12 provides us more information, so let's watch video number 12 for this app.
This week, we take a look at Text Grabber, an app that will allow you to extract text from any screenshot or image. This is Text Grabber. It's available for iOS and Android. In one sentence, it allows you to easily extract text from printed items by using the device's camera and from screenshots. For example, let's say someone put a link in their Instagram post description, but because Instagram doesn't allow you to copy descriptions, let's take a screenshot and import it into Text Grabber. Open Text Grabber, tap the camera roll icon in the bottom right hand corner, and then select your screenshot. Crop the screenshot to where the link/text is, and then tap Read. Edit out any text that isn't needed, and then copy and paste the link into your browser. Another example is if you took a picture of a piece of paper and wanted to send the text on the paper as an email to someone, open Text Grabber, import the photo, adjust the crop, and tap Read. Text Grabber will scan the image, find the text, give you the option to edit the text if there are any mistakes, and then let you copy the text so you can send it in your email. So Text Grabber is $5 for iOS and $10 for Android. All links will be in the description, or tap the card above. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tap the card above to watch more app videos, and you'll hear my voice next week on Friday. Thanks.
With this, we come to the last point of this lecture, which is future challenges of machine translation. So according to a study done in America, market size of NLP, natural language processing industry, which machine translation is part of that NLP here, will be about $2.1 billion by 2024. So that means the market investments and market share is enhancing tremendously. With NMT, machine translation applications seem to be improving, no doubt, their accuracy level over time, and this process, of course, is continuing. They learn user behavior, language patterns, and nuances that are both language specific and domain specific. Remember, when we say they learn all these things, actually the main addition for this is artificial intelligence that enables all these features. However, we should also be aware of the fact that machine translation is bound to make mistakes, and sometimes, as for the consumer use is concerned, sometimes these mistakes perhaps are not very much damaging, but in business, these mistakes can cause a lot of problems. And for example, mistranslation related incident cost a business. Yes, it mistranslations cause a lot of damages and problems for the business. Another aspect is, which is also in the area of business in general, confidential data and use of a third-party machine translation technology can pose other security related issues, and also issues that can hamper that particular business. MT challenges MT technology in the near future, so that is the question actually. So there is a kind of hope and apprehension about the machine translation, but the way it is now, especially with the addition of neural machine translation techniques, the way it is developing, it is very much hope that the machine translation is improving its performance day by day in different areas, but with certain warnings that should be kept in our mind, because the human translation in certain areas, machine translation cannot compete with the human translation in those areas. And I think I have discussed this aspect many times in the classroom as well, and in my recorded lectures, that this is a very vital and very dynamic debate among the experts about the ability of the human translation and the machine translation. But let's see what happens in the future. Thank you very much. With this lecture ends. Take very good care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.